One lazy Sunday morning, I was cleaning out my garage when I found an old biscuit tin that once belonged to my great-great-grandmother. Inside were handwritten notes, small sewing tools, and faded recipe cards. At first, I thought it was just a nice piece of family history. But the more I looked, the more I realized this was a guide to living well on very little. It hit me. The people in the 1800s knew how to stretch every dollar, even without apps, credit cards, or YouTube tutorials. They didn't waste, they reused, and they planned their spending carefully. They didn't just survive, they thrived through hard times by being smart and creative with money. Today, we live in a world of fast everything, fast food, fast fashion, fast spending. But I've found that going back to some of these 1800s frugal living habits has helped me save real money, feel more in control, and live more simply. In this video, I'll share the old-fashioned money-saving habits I've brought into my modern life and how they still work, even in today's busy, expensive world. 1. The penny jar system, a psychological budgeting hack. Back in the 1800s, families didn't have budgeting apps or online banks. Instead, they used something simple but powerful, the penny jar system. Here's how it worked. People had different jars or envelopes for different needs: food, rent, clothes, savings. Whenever they got money, they would divide it between the jars. Each jar had a purpose, and they only spent what was inside. If the food jar was empty, they found a way to make do until more money came in. It was clear, honest, and smart. When I read about this, I decided to try a modern version. I created separate digital jars using my online bank accounts and budgeting app. One for groceries, one for bills, one for emergencies, and so on. Suddenly, I wasn't overspending anymore because every dollar had a job. What surprised me most? I started spending less without feeling like I was cutting back. It changed how I saw money. I wasn't guessing anymore, I was planning. Psychologists say that when you separate money by purpose, you're less likely to waste it. The 1800s families didn't know brain science, but they knew what worked. Start small. Even 2 jars can help. One for needs, one for wants. You'll notice a difference within weeks. 2. Homemade economy, the lost art of self-sufficiency. In the 1800s, people didn't run to the store every time they needed something. Most things were made at home: bread, soap, clothes, candles, even medicine. This wasn't just a way of life. It was a way to save money, avoid waste, and stay prepared. My great-grandmother used to make her own soap and grow herbs in the kitchen window. She even turned old clothes into quilts. At the time, I thought it was just old-fashioned. But during the pandemic, when prices went up and shelves were empty, I realized she was onto something. Now, I've started doing simple things at home too. I make my own cleaning spray with vinegar and lemon peels. I bake bread once a week. I grow green onions in a jar of water. These may seem small, but they add up. I save about $40 a month just from DIY cleaning products. More importantly, I feel more in control. I don't depend on stores as much. I don't feel rushed to buy things. I've even started learning how to sew simple repairs into clothes. This old homemade economy is making a quiet comeback today. Many people are trying cottagecore lifestyles or joining DIY communities online. Not just because it's pretty, but because it makes sense. You don't have to do everything at once. Just pick one skill, like baking, sewing, or growing herbs. Practice it. Use it. Over time, your home becomes more like a store and less like a place that depends on one. 3. Waste not. Zero waste culture before it was cool. In the 1800s, throwing things away wasn't normal. People used every bit of what they had. Leftover food became soup. Old clothes were patched or turned into rags. Even wood ashes were used to make soap. Nothing was wasted because everything had value. I used to throw away vegetable peels, stale bread, and little leftovers without thinking. Then I read an old homemaking book from the 1890s that explained how to use every scrap in the kitchen. I gave it a try. I saved all my veggie scraps in a freezer bag, and once a week I made broth. It tasted great, and I no longer needed store-bought broth. Now I use my food better, throw out less, and save about $50 a month on groceries. Today, we hear a lot about the zero-waste lifestyle. But really, our great-great-grandparents lived this way without calling it anything special. They reused glass jars, mended socks, and fixed broken tools. This mindset can still work now, especially with high prices and environmental worries. Before you throw something out, ask, "Can I use this one more time?" Try these small steps. Use cloth rags instead of paper towels. Save jars to store leftovers. Compost food scraps if you garden. 4. The 1-month rule. Delayed gratification in a disposable world. In the 1800s, people didn't buy things right away. If they wanted something, they saved up and waited. There were no credit cards or online shopping carts, just patience and planning. This helped them avoid impulse buying and made every purchase feel more meaningful. Today, it's easy to click buy now without thinking. I used to do it too, especially with sales or new gadgets. But I noticed I was spending more and enjoying things less. That's when I started using the 1-month rule. Here's how it works. Whenever I want to buy something that isn't a need, I write it down with the date. Then I wait 30 days. After a month, I check the list. Most of the time, I don't even want the item anymore. This simple rule has helped me save hundreds of dollars each year. It also teaches me to enjoy what I already have. Psychologists say waiting builds stronger habits. It gives your brain time to think clearly instead of reacting fast. Try this with your next 3 wants. Just write them down and wait. You'll feel more in control, less rushed, and maybe even a little proud. Like people in the 1800s, you'll learn that waiting is a secret form of wealth. 5. Seasonal living, spending in rhythm with nature. In the 1800s, life followed the seasons. People didn't buy strawberries in winter or run heaters all day. They worked with nature, not against it. Each season had a purpose: growing, saving, preserving, or resting. This seasonal way of living helped families spend wisely and waste less. Today, we can buy almost anything anytime. But living out of season often means paying more, like higher prices for off-season fruits, high electricity bills, or last-minute holiday shopping. I started following a seasonal spending rhythm, and it changed how I use my money. In summer, I dry herbs from my garden and freeze fruits. In fall, I buy root veggies in bulk when they're cheap. In winter, I lower my thermostat and wear layers. Spring is for cleaning and fixing things around the house. This small shift helped me save hundreds each year. It also made me feel more connected to the world around me. Before making a big purchase or planning a meal, ask, "Is this in season?" Over time, your habits will match nature's rhythm, and so will your budget. Seasonal living isn't about going backward. It's about moving smarter. 6. Community currency, the power of barter and shared wealth. In the 1800s, people didn't always use money to get what they needed. Instead, they traded goods and skills with neighbors. A farmer might trade eggs for bread. A seamstress might fix clothes in exchange for firewood. This was called bartering, and it worked because people trusted and helped each other. Today, we're so used to paying for everything that we forget we can still trade. Last year, I joined a local Facebook group where people swap services. I traded homemade cookies for a haircut. Another time, I helped a friend with her resume, and she babysat for me. No money changed hands, but we both got what we needed. Bartering saves money, builds relationships, and creates a sense of shared wealth. In tough economic times, it's a powerful tool. You don't need to be a farmer to barter. Can you cook, clean, tutor, or fix things? Offer your skill, and you might be surprised at what others will trade in return. Bartering isn't old-fashioned. It's smart, sustainable, and coming back stronger than ever. Living like it's the 1800s might sound strange in today's fast world, but it's helped me save more money, feel more calm, and enjoy life in a simpler way. Our ancestors didn't have modern tools, but they had strong habits: spending with purpose, wasting nothing, sharing with others, and planning ahead. These ideas still work today, maybe now more than ever. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with one small habit. Maybe try the 1-month rule, grow a few herbs, or trade a skill with a neighbor. These old ideas can lead to big savings and a better life. The future of personal finance doesn't have to be all tech and hustle. Sometimes the smartest way forward is to look back. The 1800s taught me that frugal living is about being wise. And that kind of wisdom never goes out of style. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.